It's that feeling you get when you see the little bookshop in You've Got Mail, or the Stars Hollow Town Square in Gilmore Girls, or that iconic Central Park scene in When Harry Met Sally. There's just something about those sets in our favorite autumn movies and shows that take us right back to our favorite seasonal memories and just welcome us into that cozy, nostalgic feel of fall. So the question is, how do we capture those same seasonal feelings in our own homes this fall? Today, I'm going to be sharing with you simple and practical ways to turn your home into those cozy spaces and scenes from some of our favorite iconic fall shows. I've actually shared this kind of movie magic decorating here on my channel for a couple of years during the holiday season. It's one of my favorite videos to make each and every Christmas, how to turn your home into a Hallmark movie set. And I thought, you know what? It is finally time that we bring those ideas and those decorating tenets right into autumn too. When it comes to decorating for any holiday and season, especially the cozy ones like fall and Christmas, I always think in terms of storytelling over decorating. Every single fall season, when I sit down at my drawing board to plan out my decor and what I want to do that year, I always start from a perspective of storytelling. I think about, what story do I want to tell in my home this year? If you've been with me in the past few years, you might remember that in 2023, I created a series around Live a Good Story. That was my theme then. And then last year in 2024, we stepped into a fall fairy tale. Each season has its own mood, its own narrative, and I always think of my home as the backdrop for the story that I want to live that season. This year, I do have a brand new fall theme that I cannot wait to share with you. I will be sharing it with you in my next fall video and telling you all about my plans for fall 2025. You'll have to tune in for the next one to see it. Really looking forward to talking about this year's decor with you all, and then of course sharing the process throughout the month of September. I've got lots of decorating to do around here, and I will be sharing every single step of the way. So as soon as all of those are live, I'll come back to this video and link them in the description box below, just in case you're seeing this a little later. I'm a firm believer that we create the life we want to live, especially in our own homes, and I want to romanticize the seasons. I want to live intentionally. The seasons can pass very quickly if we blink. So I really try to live with intention through each and every season, and starting from a place of storytelling through decor in my home really helps me do that. But I think it's also the starting point for a lot of movie set designers. When they start to think about a space or design a space for a different film or show, they're taking that storyline, they're taking the characters into consideration, and then they're building out the background to bring that season or that feel or that aesthetic to life for us, the viewer. We just want to enjoy the season, and we want to enjoy those familiar feels, those familiar memories, that iconic aesthetic that we associate with this time of year. And if you clicked on this video, you're probably looking for guidance in that regard. So I say the best piece of advice I can give you is to start with storytelling. Think about, just write down, take out a blank piece of paper and write down all of the things that you want to feel first. Before you even pick up a pumpkin, think about, just for a little bit, what do you want your home to feel like? Do you want it to feel warm? Do you want it to feel soft? Do you want it to feel cozy? Do you want your patio to feel like the Stars Hollow gazebo? And once you figure that out, you can start dissecting those scenes, looking at those spaces and saying, okay, what is it? What is it about that space or that scene that makes me feel this way? If you pay attention to the sets on Gilmore Girls, they do it big for fall, okay? I was actually watching an episode, I think it's season 2. It's when Rory goes to Cotillion. They're walking through Stars Hollow during a scene, and if you look in the background, there is garland galore. I mean, Miss Patty's dance hall is just covered in fall garland. And it's something that you may not notice if you've watched the show again and again because it's in the background, but it is so much a part of why we associate that show with nostalgia and fall. Those set designers that did that show did it right, and they did it with intention. So decorating with intention, telling a good story through the decor, I think really helps me experience the season at home the way I want to. We recognize that familiar autumn aesthetic in those films that we know and love. They are things that are familiar to us, and that's why they evoke such feeling and nostalgia. So oftentimes it's the furniture, the color palette, and even those small props that We may not even register there when we're watching it, but when we watch it back, we say, why do I love this scene so much? And we start looking around and we see the basket of apples on the table, or the pumpkins in the corner, or the lamp lighting and the candles around, and we think, oh, that's why. Even the smallest things on those sets are chosen to make us feel something. And in our homes, we can do the exact same thing. When you're decorating your home, you're not just adding pumpkins and cozy throw blankets and candles around. You are setting the scene for your season. We're truly creating the backdrop for our routines, our conversations, our memories, our family dinners, all of those things during that time. So focusing on it, I think, is important. So what is it about those classic autumn film sets that feel so unforgettable and so familiar to us? I always think the answer to a question like that is in the details, especially when it comes to decor. It's in the decorative details. Those pieces that bring back a sense of seasonal memory. They're familiar to us. We recognize them as something that we know and love, icons of the season, so to speak. So things like pumpkins or a basket of apples, it's collected pieces, imperfect layers, things that feel like they've been in these characters' homes for years and years, season after season. Little details that make them feel real and lived in. I think we can easily do this in our own homes this season by choosing pieces that feel classically iconic and things that we automatically relate to autumn. So think clusters of pumpkins in various spaces and places around your home, classic garlands used on the mantle or trimming the front doorway. You know I love a good faux florals. I love bushels of mums around. Last year I put this basket of apples as part of my centerpiece on my island, and I just love how it turned out. I even bought these little apple pies and put them inside a pastry dish, and it was just such a beautiful moment in my home, and it was functional. Definitely made me feel like I was enjoying a little part of the season every time I saw that centerpiece. So intentionally placing our decor, our props, if you will, around our home in places and spaces that we frequent, that will also be functional for us, but that we will see and enjoy and feel like it's just kind of giving us this big warm hug, I think, is the goal. And that's what I'm always thinking about when I'm creating different vignettes and things around my home. I really do try to think in terms of collected decor. What pieces feel like they've been with me forever? Those are the pieces that I try to put out front and center and enjoy. I use my grandfather's book collection quite often when I'm decorating around my home, really for every season and holiday, just because it reminds me of him, and I like to have it out and close to me and visible. It brings in that familial warmth that I love. And so I use it throughout my seasonal decor, and it has become part of my decor collection. So when you're sourcing seasonal decor this year, think about how the pieces you find will fit into your collection. Are they pieces that you could see using year after year? Because those are the pieces that truly become special. You and your family members build memories around those things, and pulling out that very beautiful, specific pumpkin that you collected now in 2025, 20 years from now, is going to be really special to you, your children, your grandchildren, your spouse. Think about that this year as you're sourcing decor. What pieces would you gravitate towards? What pieces would you choose if you were curating a collection instead of just buying trendy decorative pieces this season? I don't think I can mention fall decor here on my channel without mentioning one of my favorite places to source fall decor online, and that is Wayfair.com. Really, if I think about it, it is my favorite place to source any and all decor in my home. I have so many pieces in and around my home from Wayfair that I have purchased over the years. And when I say over the years, I mean over the past decade. Pieces that I truly love in my home. And I usually purchase those pieces when Wayfair is having one of their amazing sales, like their Labor Day sale that is going on right now through September 2nd. Wayfair was kind enough to offer to partner with me on this video for their Labor Day sale, so I appreciate them for that. I would not be your YouTube bestie if I did not share this sale with you, because this is a sale that I personally shop. I never miss a Wayfair sale. I think I mentioned it back on Memorial Day. I shop Wayfair sales. It's how I get so many amazing pieces for such great, unbeatable prices. I'll be sure to have some of my fall favorites linked here on my YouTube shop, and I'll also have some of my home favorites, some pieces that I have in my home that I love from Wayfair linked there as well. Just in case you're looking for some things for your home right now, this is the perfect time to shop. One thing that all of our seasonal film favorites have in common is their ability to use those classic seasonal colors and those iconic decorative pieces so well. And the reason they focus on those things so much is because they know they are going to resonate with us, the viewers, so well. And we can use that same idea in our homes to create the nostalgic feeling that we're going for. If you want to do that, the best place to start is is just to start with the icons, iconic colors. Choose your color palette. There are so many autumnal color palettes out there. You can go with deep, rich, jewel-toned color palettes for a more romantic feel. You can go with that classic, vibrant orange and yellow to bring in that very traditional autumn aesthetic that I think we all love. Or you could go with something lighter like I did last year. I took those traditional autumn colors, just muted down a bit, and then I incorporated them in. And I still used all of the same decor that I used the year before with a more richer color palette. I just imagined it differently around my home. And so if you're sitting here and you're thinking, that's great, Brittney, but that seems like a lot, it's okay. I got you. That's why I make seasonal videos here on YouTube. I have hours and hours of decorating over several different fall seasons. Check out my fall playlist. I've got so many ideas in there for you this autumn that I know there's at least a vignette or two that you can recreate in your own home, or that will at least spark an idea. You'll see something and say, oh, I have that pumpkin, or oh, I have that garland. I'm gonna try to use it in the same way. Be sure to check out those videos. I really wanna be a great resource for you. And of course, very soon, literally next week, I will be creating new content with fresh decorating ideas for fall right here with you. Stay tuned. There's so much more fun autumn things to come here on my channel. So if we're talking fall icons, top 10, obviously a good maple leaf garland. I mentioned Wayfair earlier. They have a great one. I actually just repurchased a couple of pieces of garland that I've bought from them years past. I needed a couple more for this year, so I'll link those here on my YouTube shop. But a good maple garland, a good quality faux pumpkin. Of course, I love the real thing too. I do buy real pumpkins. I do love a good classic orange faux pumpkin. I think every time September 1st rolls around, I literally just act like a woman that's never seen a pumpkin before. I have a large pumpkin collection, and I have been doing my best to not buy more this year. I did buy some glass pumpkins, but I haven't bought a faux pumpkin yet. The Wayfair sale might get me. We'll see. I know sunflowers are also a seasonal favorite for many of us. I've always incorporated sunflowers into my August decor in some way, shape, or form. Over the past couple of years, I have just really been loving sunflowers. I got these giant sunflowers last year for my patio. If you saw the videos, then you know I went a little crazy over those, and I cannot wait to get them out. They are coming back out this year, and I just love them. We always talk about those iconic pieces, right? But we don't talk about scale of those pieces in our space, and I think scale is so important. I think it is why oftentimes perhaps we get the same pieces, or we watch someone decorate online and then we get the same pieces and we may not be necessarily happy with how it turns out in our homes. One thing that designers know that I don't know if they always share with the rest of us, doing things on a larger scale brings in the drama. Set designers know this too. So like last year when I bought those giant sunflowers and put them on my patio, it's not necessarily the sunflower itself, it's the scale of the sunflower that made that look the way I wanted it to. I was definitely channeling Stars Hollow on my back patio last year. I really love how it turned out, and I cannot wait for the weather to cool off a bit so I can get out there and do it all again. But I always think about scale, even when I'm building out my mantle or I'm curating my kitchen shelves, I'm always thinking about the scale of the space. What is going to fill the space, but not overfill the space, right? So we have to be intentional about that. Sometimes math is involved. I know. I'm not a math person. It is involved in design. And when we couple those iconic pieces with proper scale, we usually get a result that we enjoy. Another layer to bringing in that fall aesthetic from our favorite films into our home is actual layering. Building interest through those pieces is what brings them to life in our homes. We may not be able to touch them through the screen, but I think that a good set designer understands that when they're mixing textures and materials, it is translating through building those layers of interest. When we start to think about things like this, about layering decor and pattern and fabric and materials, it can initially seem like a daunting task, but it doesn't have to be. And I'm going to tell you, it is going to be easier for you than you think, okay? You're not starting with a blank slate. You are starting with a canvas, your home. Your home is your canvas. Think about the things that are not going to change, the pieces that are going to stay in your space before you decorate for the season. So for me, it's my furniture, like my sofa and my coffee table and this side table that you see here behind me, the rug that I have in this space. All of those things are my canvas, where I'm starting. So I start with those pieces and I start with those materials, and I think, how can I layer in these seasonal pieces? What can I bring in? What types of fabrics, materials, patterns, and florals can I bring in that are just going to complement what I already have? Let your foundation work for you. Let your furniture work for you. For example, I have this console table right here, and you'll see me style this. This is one of my favorite vignettes to style, this table and the antique mirror that was from my great aunt right above it. I style this every season, but when I look at this piece, I think about the piece and the mirror first. What can I add to this space to bring in the season, but not overwhelm or overcomplicate it or drown it out? I just want to accentuate all of the beautiful pieces that I already love in my home. So think about that when you're decorating, for example, your coffee table. Maybe you have a wooden coffee table. Maybe bring in some natural stone or some different colors and textures. If you have a dark wood coffee table, maybe bring in a beautiful light dough bowl, or couple some great warm stems with beautiful orange pumpkins and some candles that really make them pop on top of that dark wood. I personally have a marble topped coffee table in here. So when I'm building out any type of vignette on this table, I'm always thinking about the marble underneath. You won't typically see me layer marble on top of marble. I do have marble trays and pieces, but I'm not going to put them on this coffee table. Think about where you can use those specific pieces that you have that will actually complement the decor you already have. We can do the same thing with pattern. I think mixing pattern and fabric is so much fun, especially during fall, because we can bring in those warm, rich tones. I love a good plaid pillow mixed with a nice soft velvet, or even mixed with a floral. Pattern play can be so impactful. And when you mix like florals, for example, with plaid, but you keep them within the same color family, you definitely have something that looks curated. So when we're thinking fall, we're thinking those classic pieces that we mentioned: pumpkins, apples, corn stalks. I don't have any corn stalks, but I love the look. Sunflowers, mums, classic leaf garlands. Knowing when to mix and match those pieces to create those thoughtful layers, I think can be really impactful in your space. That is something that I do any and every time I decorate. So if you watch my videos from seasons past, you're going to see me layer pumpkins and garlands and stems, even just leaves here and there. I have faux leaves that I throw around during autumn that I just think are very whimsical. I don't live somewhere the trees turn, so I don't get those beautiful fall leaves on the ground outside my home. So I just bring it right inside. But if you're looking for how to actually layer those pieces properly, I do have a ton of decorating videos, as I've mentioned, and I'm about to do it again next week with all of my fall decors. I'll be walking you through all of the things that I've mentioned here in this video today. So I will be showing you how to apply these things in the upcoming weeks in videos. So I'd love for you to join me here again on my channel for more fall fun. I'm a fall girly. My birthday's in September. I love fall. I always have. So I just appreciate that I get to share it here with you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that these tips were helpful to you. And at the very least, I hope that it just inspired you. At the end of the day, our homes are the backdrop of our own stories. So decorate in a way that brings you joy, in a way that you love. Take risks, get it all out, put it all up. If you don't like it, the worst that can happen is that you rearrange it and you take it down, right? Don't be afraid to be a minimalist. If you like to just put a few things around, put a few things around. Even one pumpkin on the counter and a good candle can make a huge impact and bring in the season for you. And if you're like me and you're a maximalist, I say do it, go for it. Life is short. I'm telling you, it looks like fall threw up in here every September, and it brings me so much joy. I love to be surrounded by a million pumpkins, tons of thick cozy blankets, and my dogs, okay? That's what I love the most about fall, and of course a good cup of coffee. Anyway, I will be back very soon with another video for you. I'd love for you to join me because I'm telling you, we have only just begun. We haven't even officially started decorating, so these are almost like pre-fall videos. We are about to fully embrace the season here on my channel, and if you love autumn as much as I do, I'd love to have you here. I will see you again very soon in the next one. Until I do, take care and happy decorating.